Hi everyone. I wanted to go live today because I did put a post up today talking about weeping eczema. And this is an important topic because it's a complication of eczema that often happens where the skin starts weeping and you get this kind of like fluid that comes out in the skin, and really common for those of us with eczema, especially those of us with very severe eczema. Maybe you have TSW, topical steroid withdrawal, or just really severe eczema. And this is something really commonly that happens, and it's just it's hard to deal with. So I had eczema. I know what this is like. And when the skin is weeping, it's, first of all, you feel like it's really unsightly, and then your skin is just weeping. And sometimes you will also have these little vesicles that are kind of fluid filled. And the reason this is happening is because there's just a lot of inflammation in your body, and your body is kind of releasing this fluid. And you might also have a little bit of edema or inflammation. You might actually see like your arms where you have the weeping really just kind of gets inflamed. And then that fluid that is kind of filling those soft tissues because of the inflammation is now weeping out into your system. And some of the ways to deal with this, it's kind of backwards thinking a little bit. You might think, oh, I should really moisturize my skin. And actually what I found with my patients is drying it out is a better option. And then because one of the reasons it's happening is because of the inflammation, one thing you want to do is just lower the inflammation. And one thing to do is really cool, like cool compresses, ice packs, cryotherapy even, cold baths are a really great thing that you can do. You don't want to pick off those scabs. And in fact, you may not want to take a shower every day because you actually, you almost want to think of those scabs as like Band-Aids that are kind of sealing up that area and then allowing it to heal. And the other thing that might be different is, you actually want it to dry out. So you actually don't want to overhydrate if this is a problem that you're having. Now, this wouldn't be what I suggest for every eczema person necessarily, but if you're having this weeping, you may not want to overhydrate because you actually do want that skin to dry out. And I remember when I had eczema, I would get so excited. What I would see, like my skin drying out and all of that really just shedding away. And that's really an option as well too, is like just letting it to dry out. Don't put any moisturizer, really let it dry out. And then when all of that skin sheds away, you're going to see new skin come up. And I would always be so excited for that, and it's very unsightly when the skin starts shedding and all of, it really just looks like your skin is totally peeling. And it can be unsightly, but if you kind of make it through that, you'll see what is uncovered is very clear skin and healthy skin underneath. And someone is asking, would the peroxide bath still okay to do instead of showering? Yeah, so if you are in my program, you can go to, there's a new protocol up called the Clean Skin Protocol. I did share some of that information and those guidelines in my post today. So these are some of the things I'm talking about. If you know what the hydrogen peroxide baths are, you are probably in my program. I'm not sure who you are, but you might be in my program. And so what you can do is instead of the showering maybe 3 times a week is do these hydrogen peroxide baths instead, which I also personally found extremely helpful when I was having the weeping. And one of those reasons is because it will allow the skin to heal faster. Also, if there's any infections in the skin that are actually causing inflammation, those hydrogen peroxide baths can work really well too. So if you want more information about this, I am doing a live masterclass. Oh, hi, Melissa. Yes, exactly. And Melissa, actually, I am about to reach out to you and a bunch of my other patients. I just actually published that Clean Skin Protocol. So you can go into our education portal and go into the resources, and under eczema, that's under there now. And those are some of the principles and the guidelines that I added in today's post. I also will talk about those guidelines a little bit more in tonight's masterclass. I'm doing a live masterclass at 6:30 p.m. If you guys do want to join that, you can go ahead and sign up for if the link is on my bio, just register for the live class. It's tonight at 6:30. If you can't make it, there's also a replay. But tonight's masterclass, I'm going to talk about the clean skin protocol, which are just really guidelines to help those that are extremely severe with eczema. And not everyone's going to have to follow all these guidelines, but these are guidelines that I have just kind of gathered over time in treating a lot of really kind of severe eczema. And when it's severe, it's kind of in a different place where we may need to think about like helping things to dry out. And so potentially we may need to actually not use too much not use too much moisturizer, allow it to dry out, especially the weeping eczema. So that's what I wanted to focus on today. Does this work for psoriasis? Absolutely. So psoriasis is different because you won't necessarily get the weeping necessarily in psoriasis. So, our topic today of weeping psoriasis is a little bit different, but if you wanted to come for the psoriasis person tonight to my masterclass, I actually cover not only eczema, but I cover psoriasis and a lot of other conditions as well too. As long as you mention it at the beginning of the live class tonight, I will talk about it at the class, okay? Waxoline, I do love. It is kind of like a Aquaphor alternative, but some people can't have the Waxoline just because there's soy in it. So, one day I want to create one myself that doesn't have the soy, but a lot of people do well with the Waxoline instead of the Aquaphor. There are things in Aquaphor I don't really like. Some of the ingredients I don't really like too much, and that's probably what your dermatologist is telling you to use. Is the live going to be saved? Yes. So if you do sign up for the IG live and you can't make it, you will actually get a replay of tonight's live. So I recommend, even if you can't make it, to go ahead and just sign up, because then you'll get an email for tonight's live. The one on my website that's a replay right now is not from tonight. That's actually from last week. Okay. So yeah. And tonight's live, I am specifically going to be talking about that clean skin protocol and some of the guidelines that you can already start doing in your life today. In terms of what can you start to try if you are extremely severe with the eczema. And if you are somewhere on the spectrum of the eczema, we might need to take a different approach. So this approach that I'm talking about today is more like if you're weeping, and I mean it's like all, you're having pretty severe eczema or even TSW, topical steroid withdrawal. Okay. All right. And I would love to open up to any questions right now. I'm on my lunch break. You guys are probably on your lunch break too. So, I just wanted to chat a little bit about the post I put today, because it is something that comes up so frequently with my patients, is this weeping eczema. And it just can be intolerable, really, And actually, for the patient who came earlier, we were talking about how like the drying is actually a good thing when it starts to peel, and you kind of just have to get through that shedding process of it peeling, and then underneath, you're really revealing beautiful skin underneath. And I look at my skin now, and I just can't believe it, because I was covered with eczema. Absolutely. Do I have a picture of what I am discussing? The picture on today's post is someone of just kind of severe eczema, and oftentimes the person with severe eczema might look like the picture, but then you'll see a little bit of like an oozing coming. It's like a clear fluid. It's not like a pussy fluid. It's like a clear fluid that's coming out of the skin. And that's really what I'm talking about, is a weeping eczema. And often if you have weeping eczema, you know this, because it's uncomfortable. It also kind of feels like you have all these open wounds. Yeah, so some of the concepts are from NMT, but not all of them in terms of the clean skin. These are like all of the things I've gathered through the time frame of myself being treated, and then other things. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, that's no moisture therapy. And some of it is there for the weeping eczema, but I don't recommend it for people who necessarily don't have the weeping eczema. But yes, like letting that weeping eczema kind of dry is what I really want, is let it dry out and let that heal, and let the weepiness crust over, and then allow that skin to heal. And I wanted to kind of go more into this. Could you help my daughter with cold urticaria? Absolutely. This is a big problem for a lot of people, where when they get cold, they get hives. And often it really means that the lymphatic system is really congested and there's inflammation in the body. Potentially there's toxins that are wanting to be released. And then when the body's temperature changes, then you get the urticaria. Is that an infection at that point? Not necessarily. So the weeping does not necessarily indicate an infection, but when you are weeping, you can be absolutely more open and prone to the weepiness. Why does the weeping happen excessively at night? And that, a lot of the questions regarding, why does my eczema get worse at night, etc. A lot of that is actually because your hormones drop down at night. And one of those hormones is called cortisol. Cortisol actually helps to lower inflammation. So a lot of us eczema people know we use cortisone. And cortisone it's actually something your skin releases to lower inflammation. So at nighttime, when the cortisol levels come down, when the cortisone levels come down, you're just going to have more inflammation, therefore more weeping, okay? Somebody had a question about Dupixent, and I missed it. So if you can ask again, because I missed it as I was answering that last one. New Year page, hello, welcome. My daughter's 10 and has eczema on both her arms. Maybe not severe, but would the clean skin protocol still be helpful for her? So the elements of the clean skin protocol, maybe some of them will be helpful, maybe not all. And if we work together, then we would decide which parts are needed and which parts aren't. If there's a lot of weeping, we may want to kind of, not put any moisturizers. If there isn't weeping, then we may want to use moisturizers. Also, we may want to do no moistures just on where the weeping is. So it just kind of depends, right? If it's all over the body, we might need to do something different. And then in terms of there are other protocols. So the clean skin protocol, it's really guidelines for my severe eczema patients. But what we do at Clean Body is we really address, what is the root cause? Like, what is the core of the problem? And oftentimes it's gut dysfunction, kidney dysfunction, liver dysfunction, bile dysfunction, and burden on the system. So what toxins are burdening the system? Could be heavy metals, could be environmental toxins, parasites, etc. I'm currently taking the adrenal support. Does that? Yes. So for you, that is the reason I gave you that adrenal support, is to help with that. It will support those levels in the evening, but at the same time, we need to also just get your body working properly, because your adrenals will be off. They'll be more off when there's a lot of burden on the body. So one of the things we're doing is actually trying to release that burden, and when we release that burden, then the adrenals can kind of heal. So in addition, I think supplements are great. They can do a good job, but they can't do the full job. So that's where also what comes into play is relaxing your system, stress management, those types of things, which is all things we also manage in our program. So great. If you want to learn more about our program, you can check out the link in my bio that actually links directly to tonight's masterclass. I will be going into a little more depth about the clean skin protocol, the guidelines of that, but I will also go through all of the other protocols in the Clean Body program, which is a clean gut, clean kidney, clean liver, and clean bile. And those are equally important in the process. Those are really getting those core organs in place. And then the clean skin protocol is really kind of like, okay, what are the guidelines that an eczema specific person really needs to pay attention to, especially when there's weeping and a severe eczema. So not everyone is following all of those guidelines. So if you didn't check out my post today, I put some of those clean skin guidelines, but then there's other guidelines that I will mention tonight. And if you also want to learn more about our program, how we can work together, we also have a do-it-yourself approach. That's a course. And then we have, ways that we can really support you and really help you through the process of cleansing your organs and really promoting the healing of your body, the healing of your skin. It's a really different approach from conventional medicine, right? Because conventional medicine, it's like, okay, what drug can we give you, And we're really looking at the root cause. Oh, thank you so much. So if anyone's thinking about taking her program, you should. She's been so involved and helpful in supporting my healing journey with TSW. Thank you so much. Of course, And I'm so happy we're on this journey together. And I am reaching out to you, by the way, later today, because we probably want to make some adjustments. And that's kind of what we do in the program, is like, we need to make adjustments, right? It's not a straight line. When you have really severe eczema, this is a journey. And someone really good today on one of my discovery consults said, Dr. Fong, this seems like an adventure. I was like, yes, that's a great way to really see this. It's an adventure. It's a journey we take together. We hold your hand, myself, and I actually have a really great coach on board who's a doctor of nutrition. So we kind of hold your hand side by side, and we help you on this journey, to make sure that you have the support you need to get through the process. And when it's to the point of TSW, I mean, it's just, it's to the point where, the body is just really freaking out. So we need to kind of figure out the things that we need to do. How can we really address the system? And what it really is give the support that your body needs to heal. Your body can heal on its own. It can heal and do the job, but there's so many restrictions in the way. There's so many burdens. So we got to remove all those burdens. Then we just got to give your body the nutrition and the support it needs. Okay? All right. So if you have any other questions, I'm going live just like right now, but tonight I'm going to have a lot of slides. I'm going to teach you a lot of things, and you will walk away with a lot of information. It's a power-packed masterclass where I want to get you the information that you need to really start healing, okay? All right, I am off my lunch now, so everyone have a great rest of your day. I hope to see you at my live masterclass tonight, and I hope that you find your way. If you have eczema, if you have weeping eczema, try some of those recommendations today, and then check out my live masterclass so that we can get you some more support, all right? All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye.